Gimnazija Matija Mesić Grammar School was ceremonially opened on the 4th of March 1918. The idea of founding a school first appeared back in 1881, and only in 1906 did the Brodna-Savit Town Council send a petition to the Royal Government of the Land, Department for Theology and Education, in which the founding of a grammar school was requested. On the 3rd of June 1907, the Royal Government Construction Department was asked to provide several sketches or drawings of some newly built schools, so the foundation for a grammar school could be laid. 10 years later, at the town council meeting, Mayor Stjepan Benčević informed about the establishment of the Royal Grammar School. Finally, after many years of townspeople's endeavors, in 1918 the government ordered an immediate opening of the first and second form of grammar school, while higher forms would be opened with time by special orders. Already in March of the same year the students started enrolling, and on the 4th of March after the Mass the school was solemnly opened. The beginnings were difficult, with the problems ranging from the lack of space to the teaching staff.
When the opening of the grammar school was approved, an eligible school space was to be found. At the meeting in 1907, the ad hoc board decided that the already existing primary school building would be suitable for upgrading and refurbishment for the purpose of an 8th-form grammar school. However, after some time, even that was not enough.
At the town council meetings, headmaster Josip Krajišćan would often remind the members of the problems with the lack of space. Not until 1921 did the town council with Mayor Stjepan Bublić initiate the upgrade of the second floor on the existing school building.
The extension was financed by selling the land to the First Croatian Savings Bank, and the contractor was Josip Cvijić. The construction began in July 1921 and ended in 1922. During construction works, classes were held in the girls' school building in Gundulićeva Street. Gombaona was being upgraded at the same time.
Gombaona was the name of the gym where students were doing gymnastics. Later on, Gombaona was renamed Sokolana. During the Second World War, classes were held at various places: teacher's room, town council, the yard and the porch of the town council, Klasje.
The problems caused by the lack of space were not resolved until 1971, when the leadership of the grammar school in Slavonski Brod initiated construction of a new building in Pillar Street. That project was finished on the 11th of September 1974, and only 2 days later the building was approved for use.
Although 32 million dinar were planned to be spent on the construction, there was some money left. That funds were later used for building a school gym in 1981. In the past, Gimnazija Matija Mesić Grammar School was a much different place than it is today. Students were strictly controlled. 20th century educational tools and teaching methods differed from today's. All students had their own writing slate and a piece of chalk. Students would write mathematical tasks on one side of the slate and the other side was used for other subjects. In 1929, a new school law was enacted. School became mandatory for everyone. The main school agenda was to educate children in the spirit of pro-Yugoslav orientation. The strictest school law was the one that sent many students to prison. The main reason for going to prison was swearing among fellow students or teachers. Prison sentences were confirmed at the staff meeting held on the 30th of June 1918 by headmaster Josip Krajišćan. What is more, male students were allowed to play football only once a week, otherwise there would be consequences. Furthermore, the students were advised to shower once a week.
While I was researching the period between the 1920s and the 1940s, in the time of the Banovina of Croatia and the time when the independent state of Croatia was coming into existence, I found a lot of interesting facts. In that time, the school changed its name 4 times. In fact, the situation in the grammar school in Brod was quite interesting. It was at that time located in the same place as the present-day mechanical engineering faculty. A lot of things happening there caused great dissatisfaction in Slavonski Brod. We can take as an example the Pasic-Pribicevic government policy, because of which a great number of Croatian teachers were replaced by Russian emigrants. Headmaster Krajčan was relocated to Križevci for unknown reasons. He was replaced by Lazar Čelap. That time was marked by growing dissatisfaction with school. Čelap was called the dictator. His dictatorship manifested not only in his rigorousness and strict school rules, but also in employing mainly Serbian teachers, in using mainly Serbian textbooks, and celebrating Serbian feasts. In 1939 he was replaced by Josip Gunčević. In that time the Banovina of Croatia was formed. There were attempts to improve the situation not only in the country but also at school. Josip Gunčević was persistently trying to change some old Croatian values which had been set more than 100 years ago. His personnel policy, discipline strategies and the reign of terror led to the strike on the 6th of November 1940. The students who were dissatisfied with his leadership participated in the strike. They wanted to return the way of living in the time of Lazar Čelap. Those students were excluded from school for 1 year and were forbidden to enroll at any other. Such conditions remained unchanged until 1941, when German military entered the school and classes were dismissed until the end of the war.
I was a famous singer. I attended this school and I used to sing in school choir, which helped me a lot in my singing career. The talent for music is in my genes. I heard that even today, after so many years, there is chamber orchestra in our school.
I was a famous sportswoman thanks to my school, where I fell in love with handball. When I started school, I was indecisive about choosing extracurricular activities, but when I found out I could do sports like football, archery, rowing, and many others, I decided to choose handball. I was training hard, but it wasn't difficult because I loved the sport. After I had finished school, I chose handball as my profession.
I was a successful gymnast thanks to the sports association in school. In my school days, there were a lot of sports activities you could do. I chose gymnastics, but some of my friends chose volleyball, table tennis or athletics.
My children go to the same school as well, and even though they are not athletes like I was, they are a member of a film association where they work on different kinds of movies projects. My grandmother also went to the school, and I always loved listening to her stories. She went to a Christian association in school called Mary's Congregation, and she told me that there she met Dragutin Tadijanović, a famous poet who was a very good friend of hers.
Many people in my family were members of school associations. My great-grandmother told me she had been a member of Red Cross and had been helping people in that way. My grandmother went to this school as well. She was a member of Home and School Community Association. It's a community whose goal is to improve relationship between students, parents and teachers. In that way, parents helped improve the school life by giving money, and because of that association, parents were able to educate their children easier.
A few years ago, I graduated from Gimnazije Matija Mesić grammar school. I was a member of the Astronomical Society, which inspired me to become an astronomer. My grandparents attended this school before the Second World War. They were both members of the school association. My grandfather was a member of Croatian Wings. The association had 300 members. They were making aircraft models and taking part in competitions. My grandmother was a good writer, so she joined the working literary community. She became a famous writer after graduating.
My mother told me how I got sick when I was just a baby, during the Second World War. I had a high fever and my mom was very scared for me. She took me to the hospital where they told her they couldn't do anything about that because they were full. Then they sent her to the school building, which served as a temporary war hospital. She told me that she came there and saw some horrifying sights. Wounded soldiers were everywhere, sitting on school chairs and desks. She walked in and cried for help. However, one of the doctors told her they were all so full and couldn't take her in. My mom didn't know what to do, but one of the nurses felt sorry for her and hid us somewhere. My mom was so grateful to that woman because I owe my life to her. This is the nurse that helped her.
In 1968, Nikola Petric organized various events to celebrate the school's 50th anniversary. The celebration started on the 1st of March with a poetry night. Former students and teachers read some of their poems there. Dragutin Tadijanović, Dubravko Jelčić, Stjepan Godić, Anđelko Barbić, Slavko Mirković and Valentin Benušić. One of them was a famous poet, Dragutin Tadijanović, who was born in the village of Rastuše and attended the grammar school in Slavonski Brod. He first started writing poems during his high school days. Tadijanović is one of the most popular and most influential Croatian poets. On the 2nd of March, the Association of Former Teachers and Students was founded with the aim of maintaining further contact with them. Their vice president was Nikola Petric. The formal opening was held at the youth stadium Klasje the same night. Nikola Petric held a speech there.
Today, Gimnazija Matija Mesić Grammar School is technologically well equipped. In every classroom there is a laptop, computer or tablet, as well as a high-speed internet connection. It is necessary for every class because our teachers use the e-class register application, which has been implemented into Croatian educational system for the past several years. Sometimes students can also use their mobile phones in class in order to find more information related to the tasks they get. Apart from compulsory subjects, our students can choose among various elective subjects too. They are also involved in many extracurricular activities, a wide range of sports, the school orchestra and choir, the volunteer club and many others.
The board decided the leadership of the grammar school finished on the 11th of September. An eligible school space would be suitable for upgrading. The ad hoc board decided behind the scenes. The extension was fine. The extension was fine.
My baby is sick! Help! Help! Help!
Ali su, tamo steže, super sve.
In my parents' time, they were all pep.
A ne mogu, brate. Zašto niko ne želi odgovarati?
Oče naš, koji jesi na nebesima,
Sveti se ime tvoje.
Dođi kraljestvo tvoje.